Through Paramore, I decide myself, I say to spectacles, he's right, socked of air at that, as if fallen from a cliff, almost. I jumped, that bravely, just to reach my sullen cave, with that sullen birthing, to find statement scaffolding, failed attempt, an unction for my decline. To me, just mere. A random sportive file checked. He brushes absently breast pocket. At first, I think. Really, though, is rummaging for hanky. Oh, he says to the ground. My thoughts grace. I know. Bring it. Bring it there. By star's fealty or whim, it is. Either, and either stuck to win. I will change the air, he said, to make you stop hovering round now. A windy spot, eh? Better the riposte for any of my soundless dropping to the ground on the hot days, at least. I linger myself on this mania of his as he conjures gusts. Surprisingly, tweak of a finger, then like a lure or some such thing, I am by my farthest sight cast to there, up to the big brown lawn out there. I get between some snippet. My ambageous records here and there produced in words and words. And here, and for you, spectacles, old spectacles, hampering in the sun that nearly blinds him, cornered by the wretched punch of its incommunicable fist, even inescapable. The metal clasps of those bumpkin suspenders glint mockingly, rough in the ray. I did not say your scorched cheek shows in any light in spite of wind. Yet, then, with a whomping sneeze, from old dutiful spectacles into his dutiful rag, thawed for effectually before that inner processing train of mine cut off its chancy attitudes that beggar expression, to equal the honeyed dint of elders any at their own feast. I know. I couldn't. They themselves, they only know some rapture all must face, and have an withered already from it. Its introduction, and then it is there. I suppose. That ripples water, he said, laughing at his own enigmas. I had not realized. I had spoken all, but what I in that monologue plainly told myself to conceal, revealing it, therefore. I wish, said grimly he, old man, spectacles, I was, as like a stone's throw from myself, to nourish, be nourished, yeah, by the distance of my thoughts from their meaning, live that relieved, enough to be unfazed forever by even the most belligerent repetitious strain, if to strain for a neighbor's waywardness instead to cant at the bubbly, faceless children of meanings, wrenched from issues for the soul to grab and cradle in its own depth, cave. A public morbidity, he said, if I recall. Yet I know nothing when his own spat started in, through stormy syllables, harassed by their own storminess, rather, like a thing I felt as guile, on par with viewing one's own life in distaste, yet knowing no other. And he, the old uneducated, old spectacles in his chair, nodded in resentful creaks like dogs that mimic masters. He particular, though likely more than I, having no table, no chart for this, knowing only the intuitive press of all that wood garbage. One has to make of more what is left indwelling with seeming. Like the soul, its beautiful complaints, and the dank, dark, somnolent metaphor that drips with mentioned caves. Again, these little morons would, he said, the left hand instructing a moral turpitude, and calling all the same the lot of it, and tearless blame removed, yet the hand it seeming breathing like streams would, floating a linear passage across the children, each as much the metaphor and figuration for some soul's minor hand, intimacy, issue. To use the word, to haul it back to mentioning, in effect a resonance. Him pissed, though, in viewing the sun-scorched criminals cross his sun-scorched lawn, salting his lawn with grabbing of grass, absent rakes at play, fucking grab-ass, yard littered with balls from play of various shapes and sizes. Seems they have entered willingly. As the coot recognizes each romp, he rubs an eye for the champion like a stone pestle, and his hands well hard enough for gruff comparison.